Anura Kumara Dissanayake was sworn in as the president of Sri Lanka after an unprecedented run of victory in presidential elections. Dissanayake vowed to bring clean politics and revive the country's economy in his inauguration speech.
We have a deep understanding that we have got a challenging country. Our politics must be cleaner than this. There is a need for a political culture that people expect. We will commit ourselves to that. The public have a very negative view of politicians and politics.
This is Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. He resigned and the cabinet was dissolved. Gunawardena's resignation may open the way for Dissanayake to call for a fresh parliamentary election. Gunawardena took over as Prime Minister in July 2022 after former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country and resigned in the face of widespread protests unleashed by the worst economic crisis in decades. Sunday's election result meant that Dissanayake will replace incumbent Ranil Wickremesinghe, who had been appointed by Parliament to serve out Rajapaksa's remaining term.
Mr. President, here with much love and deepest affection, I entrust to you the beloved child of Sri Lanka, whom we both love dearly.
The race was down to two candidates, Dissanayake and Sajith Premadasa. Since neither cleared the 50% vote share mark, election officials proceeded to count preferential votes for the first time in Sri Lanka's history. As the day drew to a close, the people's mandate became increasingly clear and Dissanayake was declared the winner. Although his JVP party has just 3 seats in parliament, the 55-year-old candidate was boosted by his promises of tough anti-corruption measures and bigger welfare schemes. In his first address as president-elect of Sri Lanka, Dissanayake had called for a restoration of the people's voice as a critical step towards advancing the country. He added that parliamentary elections should be held in accordance with the will of the people to move the nation forward.
There was a need for a government with a mandate from the people if you want to rescue the country from the crisis. We know in the recent past the mandate was distorted. The distortion of the people's mandate affected the parliament and other institutions beyond that. The people's mandate that is needed to take this country forward is being established. That was the main point of the presidential election. And I think the general election should be held immediately after.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was one of the first to congratulate Dissanayake on his victory. Dissanayake replied saying, "Together we can work towards enhancing cooperation for the benefit of our peoples and the entire region." India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, also met with the President-elect and conveyed greetings from India's leadership. We earlier spoke to former Indian Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Ashok K, from New Delhi, and this is what he had to say about the elections.
People wanted a change. They wanted, a new government which is very different from traditional political parties. Essentially, that was you have SLPP, SLFP, UNP, and SJB. So they were not in favor of continuing with the status quo. So it's clearly a vote for change. Now AKD has the opportunity to see how he delivers on this mandate.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.